You guys, it is time for story time. Oh my gosh. So, I think I've been scammed. This is my scam story.
Hello, and welcome to Twist Talks by Samantha Twist, where we talk about basically everything from careers, your home, relationships, health, and more. I cover just about anything you deal with in life. Hope you enjoy.
Okay, you guys. Sit down, grab some hot cocoa or some tea. We're about to get into it. You know what? We're gonna have a drink and take a sip every time you think I did something silly because there's a lot. So basically this story starts with a precursor. If you follow me on TikTok, you know that I'm doing a series where I'm selling my grandma's old furniture. Oh my gosh, I just remembered I'm not wearing makeup. So if I look really tired or crazy, that's why. I'm just not gonna get too close to the camera. So if you know, then on TikTok, I've been doing this series where I sell my grandma's old stuff that has been hoarded up in their barns. And it's a big, massive, like, de-hoarding series that I'm doing. And in it, I evaluate, like, tell you about the difference between Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, eBay, Kijiji, etc. I posted these Paisley bedroom set or living room office set. Like, it's these two green Paisley chairs. Ottoman for the end of your bed, and a footrest for one of the chairs. And they're like excellent quality. Everything my grandparents own, great quality, top notch. Like, they would have paid a lot for these. It's just not our style. So I listed them for $1,200 on every platform because I want them gone. We're about to get heated. This is gonna be a long story. I'm drinking GT's Synergy Raw Kombucha Watermelon Wonder. So basically, I post them on all these things. And then I get reached out on, it was Craigslist or Kijiji, by this lady named Elizabeth, and then she asks me to text her, pretty common for this platform. And so I do, and she explains to me that she's like interested in buying the chairs, and she was interested in buying another set of chairs too, but the total would have been like really expensive, like almost $3,000. And so she was like, never mind, I'll just take those chairs because I love those. Great. And I was like, okay. And she's like, does a certified check work? And so I'm like, oh, I don't know, because people can like cancel checks, right? And I don't know how that works. So I went and I asked Cam's dad, and I said, like, what do you guys think of being paid through selling items through a certified check? Are they legit? He says yes. So I'm like, okay, Elizabeth, certified check sounds great. And then she says, I'm gonna get movers because I'm an old lady. I have nobody to help me move. I have a cane. I'm a grandma, and yeah. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. I don't care. So she emails me the certified check. And then after she's emailed it to me, she says, by the way, I added an extra $750 onto that check. So that way, like, you can e-transfer the movers. Can you do that for me? As soon as she said, can you do that for me? I was like, that's normally what they say when they're trying to like scam you a little bit. But then I was like, you know what? Like, if she doesn't have e-transfer, like, whatever. So I waited a few days because I was like, I want to make sure this check clears and that the money's actually in my account before I send anything anywhere, because I was really like cautious of it being a scam. So then I saw the money in my account. It appeared right away. It stayed there for a few days. So I was like, okay, it must be legit. And so she gives me the email for this guy named Steve, who is at the moving company. So she says, email the accountant Steve at the moving company, and that's all. You transfer him like to his email. And so I send $750 to Steve and then go to work. And so I'm at work, and partway through, I get an email from Steve. Like, I just check my email, And I have 20 emails from Steve. And the very first one says, what is this for? Now, you know how in e-transfer you can like do those, like send a note with it? And I said in my note, for the moving company that's helping Elizabeth buy my chairs or pick up my chairs, something like that. And so he's like, what is this for? What are you talking about, Steve? You should know what it's for. And then I keep reading through all the emails and he says like, hey, I think this is a scam. Like, I think you're being scammed. Please get back to me right away, blah, blah, blah. Basically, during all this time, without me even responding to him because I was at work and I wasn't checking my emails, he sends me back the money. Thank God. Honestly, my guardian angel put Steve into my life. And so he says, I think you're being scammed because he's been talking to somebody named Emily, and Emily told him that he was going to be receiving money soon because of somebody's late father passed away and they're selling the company. Who sells a company for only $750? Like, that's a little weird. And also, like, there's just so many questions. He's like, I think you're being scammed because I'm not a moving company. They told me a different story and I'm not a moving company, he says. I said, oh, interesting. And then he emails me. He says, who's Elizabeth? I'm talking to Emily. I said, who's Emily? He goes, I don't know, a girl I met online. And then I ask Elizabeth, I say, this is getting a little shady. What exactly did I say? Let me pull it up, you guys. We're gonna pull this up because I did a TikTok series on this. Steve texted me everything that Emily was sending to him. And I was telling him what Elizabeth was telling me. So then we were talking like back and forth, Steve and I, while also talking to these other people or one other person, who knows. In the transactions with Emily, Emily says, let me read this to you. Because I told Elizabeth what Steve told me. I said, this is getting a little bit like shady. I'm getting uncomfortable. I don't understand what's going on. Like, I don't know if I'm going to go through with this sale. I said, I'm getting really uncomfortable and now I'm concerned. That's basically what I told her. So she sends that to Emily, or is Emily. That's the thing, we still don't know. So I'm just gonna act like they're two different people. She sends that to Emily and Emily sends that to Steve and says exactly what I said about getting uncomfortable. And then she said, darling, you didn't have to send that all to her. This is Emily to Steve. Emily says, she's not being scammed and no one is trying to scam anyone. I told you there was a little mix-up, hun, but it's all right if you don't trust me. So I didn't know at this point, but Stephen met her on the internet. I asked Elizabeth, I say, who's Emily? And Elizabeth is like, that's Steve's fiance. The whole time I'm like, obviously it's not her fiance. No fiance says, but it's okay if you don't trust me. And then Elizabeth tells me, this is what she says, he is just angry they didn't let him know. Because she starts telling me that, what did she say? It was like some backhand deal and like that she was doing it with a company that was a moving company, but it was a back-end deal so that she didn't have to pay taxes or something like that. But they weren't a moving company, and Steve already told me that. So yeah, she says like, oh, they're just angry he didn't let me know. I'm doing a back-end deal. Steve's just being a bum. And I'm just like, I didn't sign up for any back-end deals. I just wanted to sell 2 chairs. And I told her at this point, I said, I'm gonna talk to my financial advisor and make sure that I'm not being scammed. She says that like totally go ahead and talk to your financial advisor. I'm totally fine with that. No problems there. And then she says, but could you please text Steve and tell him it's all cool and the previous messages were a little mix-up. Excuse me? You're asking me to do more stuff to sell my chairs? This is a lot of work just for chairs. And also, she has his email, just like me. That's how I'm messaging him. She can message Steve herself. And then she says, this is very critical to the pickup schedule. Are you still here with me? I say, who's Emily, his fiance? And then she said, I was like, no, it's not his fiance. They're online dating, this is super sketch. And then she says, just tell Steve it's all cool and nobody's getting scammed here. This isn't really the way most old ladies talk. After Elizabeth calls Steve a bum a bunch of times and says he's not credible, so that way I will keep going through with the sale, she says, just calm down for a fee. Literally, that's what, just calm down for a fee. Excuse me? I don't even know if the first check is real. Do you think I'm going to accept more, possibly fake money in a super shady situation? Like, these people could be Hell's Angels for all I know. And so I say to her, I'm going to talk to my financial advisor. If it turns out this is not a scam, I will send you your money back. This is super shady and way too inconvenient for selling chairs. This is an inappropriate way to be dealing with somebody. And she says, please don't send my money back, Sam. I really want the chairs. Hear me out. And I said, because I want to sell these chairs so bad. I said, then I suggest hiring a legit moving company and conversing with them yourself instead of having me, the seller, doing it all for you. This is incredibly inappropriate and I can't believe you would handle yourself this way. Then she says, okay, just hold on. I had told you I would handle, she gets really mad at me. She says, I told you I'd handle the conversation with Steve and for you to not to reply to any of his texts, but you did. I literally sent one e-transfer, which she told me to send, and then he sent 20 messages explaining the situation on his side. And at this point, I hadn't responded to him yet. Until after she said this is when I started emailing him again. I literally had sent him one e-transfer. And then she keeps on going and says, I'm sorry you had to go through it this way. I'm fixing it. Just hold off. Let me handle this. Are you there? Can you read me? I'm very sorry. Just see this. This is what she says. Are you there? Can you read me? I'm very sorry. Just see this as you helping out a weak, feeble senior. My grandma is in her 90s. She is so skinny. She's like a skeleton. She's literally in a transition home for the elderly. And she does not have much movement available to her. Not once has she ever called herself weak or feeble. I know grandparents are so in denial most of the time of their, they think they're stronger than they are and they're able to live more than they are. They don't normally, I was like, weak, feeble senior? This sounds like bull crap. I'm sorry, just talk to me. I still want the chairs. Sam, can you please send the pickup address? Oh my gosh, did I send her? No, I didn't send her my address. Oh my gosh, I was like, Los Angeles is gonna be shooting me up. So I'm glad I never sent her my address. She then tells me she finds another moving company and then I can send the money to them. At this point, I'm starting to think maybe it is legit and Steve was just really confused because, if she's willing to have another, this is the thing I don't get. Let's say there's 4 players in this. Even let's say there's 3. We're just going to run this out together, you guys. Think about scenario 1. It's Elizabeth. She sends a fake check to me to send to Steve and then to Emily, and that's who will collect the real money that comes out of my bank account, because if it's a fake check and I pay for something, I obviously still need to pay for it with my own money. So why have Steve in there to take my money? Unless Steve was in on it. But then Steve gave me my money back, so that doesn't make any sense. And even if it was if there's no Emily and it's just Elizabeth, why would Elizabeth send me a fake check so that she can steal my money, have that sent to Steve? Oh, actually, that does kind of make sense. But why Steve? Why not make her own moving company? Because here's the thing. We're going to keep writing the scenario because I started thinking about it in my head and started answering it. But Elizabeth sends a fake check so that I'll send my real money to Steve. And then Steve was supposed to be sending it back to Emily, which in this scenario is Elizabeth. So then Elizabeth gets $750 of my money into her bank account. That makes sense. But why would she use Steve as the moving company and not like make up a moving company? She could easily say, we move you at info@wemoveyou.com or info@movers.com. Like, she can make a fake email. Why use Steve? And I really hope there's no scammers watching this and getting ideas from it. Because don't do that. That would be very rude. I'm very thankful for Steve not being in on the scheme. Let me know in the comments what you think, because I'm still confused why they had a middleman. Like, what was Steve's role in this? That's the part I'm confused about. But he's really nice. He's great. I've emailed him again today and said, thank you again for like the 5th time for sending me my money back. So then she says, I found another moving company. Like what? It's called Way Forward. Ironic, since she's looking for a way forward for her thing. But anyways, I haven't even Googled them. Doesn't matter. I'm talking to another moving company now, is what she said. Can you e-transfer to them? So why would I send money to, that's the thing. I'm just like, the scam makes no sense in my head. So if you can like understand it or have any ideas, like comment below, because why would she choose a second moving company? Is this her fake email now? Like, I just don't understand. And then she says, here's what I look like for reference purposes, and puts a picture of herself. Hello, are you there? I got a better moving company now. Hello? So basically, I just stopped responding to her because I was like, I told her already. I told her before this, I'm going to talk to my financial advisor. It'll take some time. If this is real, I'll send you your money back. We're not doing a transaction anymore. Then, you guys, I got an email from my bank, and they said, call me right away. And this wonderful woman named Carla, I've never met a bad Carla, calls me and tells me, well, I'll let you guys watch the reaction video to that after I do a short explanation, because it's a vertical video that I filmed in my car, but I'll just attach it to this. And it's my reaction right after she called me. But basically, she called me and she says, hey Sam, we noticed that a check for $1,950 was placed in your account. And just so you know, it was not a real check. So the money never existed and it's not there. This is like a week or two after. I think it's over 1 week after the situation happened. So that money, like, it looked like the money was in my account for a week. That is so scary. And so it turns out, as you guessed, as the title says, I was totally scammed. And if it wasn't for Steve, I would be out almost $800. My husband would have probably killed me. Like, It wasn't very nice. It was a big waste of time. I was really excited to sell those chairs. Elizabeth, if you're watching this, screw you. Like, and when Carla from the bank calls me, I'm like laughing to her. I'm like, Carla, you will not believe how silly this sounds. Like, I know that people pretend to be old people to scam other people. That's the thing, is I knew the whole time. I just love old people. Like, some people love babies. I love old people. I think they're the best. And my grandma is old, so I'm like empathizing or sympathizing with that. And I'm thinking, like, yeah, my grandma wouldn't be able to move chairs, and this lady had no family around, so I'm like, my grandma wouldn't be able to do it all alone, and I don't want to be against old people, like, sound like ageist or something. Like, I just felt kind of bad. And I was like, I love old people. I hope she gets her chairs. And also, I really want to sell these chairs because I don't want them taking up space anymore. And so I was telling, like, And so Carla, I was literally telling her, she's like, yeah, that's how they get you with the old people. It's always that top scam, old people and tax fraud. And I was just like, Carla, I know, like, that's the worst part about this is I knew the whole time.
Okay, you guys, so I'm driving home and I decided to call my banker about this whole like scam situation. And they told me, oh, Samantha, we were just about to call you because you had a check go in for $1,000-something and it was illegitimate. It was a fake check. It bounced. It didn't work. It didn't bounce. It just didn't even work. It wasn't even a real check. So it was a scam all along. F you, Elizabeth. Or whoever it is. I guess their name isn't even Elizabeth. And I am so glad I held on to that check and didn't send her money back until double checking with the banker first. And that Steve, MVP Steve, was so nice and told me it was a fraud and sent my money back because then I would have had to pay the bank. That's what happened.
It's not over, I'm just in the tub, and I really need to update you guys. I just got another email from Steve. He messaged me and let me know that they're pulling the exact same scam on another person, except they're going by the name Janet, and still having her email the money to Steve.
Don't get scammed, guys. Stay safe on the internet. Don't accept certified checks. It says it's certified by a person at the bank. Don't do it. Selling things online is hard. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. There were some other times that I almost got scammed. One that almost really got me, a scam that almost really got me, was a phone call that went to the answering machine because my parents weren't home. It happened during the summer. Tax season had happened recently. And it was a voice saying, this is the Canadian government or Canadian Revenue Services, something like that. You have done your taxes incorrectly and you owe this much money. You have to pay it right away. And if you don't within 3 days or like by next Tuesday, the police or lawyers will be showing up to your house. I called my parents right away. I was like, Dad did the taxes wrong. We're going to jail. That one got me. Another scam I want to warn you about, while we're on the topic of it, probably most of you know this. I didn't, and some of you might not know it, and then hopefully I'm just helping you with my 3 stories of scams. But another common one is for brands and influencers, and a brand will reach out to an influencer, or like anybody, I guess, and say, hey, like, we want to give you a free product, usually like sunglasses or whatever, but we can't ship it to you for some reason. Makes no sense. But anyways, they want to give you a free product. They can't ship it to you. So they're going to give you like $50 or something through PayPal. And then you take that PayPal money and spend it on their product on Amazon is normally where it is. Or you buy it off their website. Like you buy their product with the money they send you on PayPal. The only thing is with PayPal, they can take it back at any point. They can always refund the money. So as soon as you have it, you gotta get it out into your bank account like as fast as possible, because otherwise they're just going to cancel it and then you just paid for the sunglasses with your own money. So that's another scam. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed these stories. They were an experience. It was quite a crazy week. And I'm so thankful to Steve's. So if you know a Steve, hug a Steve, because this Steve just like, I'm so thankful for him. That's all I can say.
Thank you for listening to Twist Talks. I hope you walk away from this episode knowing something new. You can find me at SamanthaTwist.com, Twist Talks on Instagram, or Samantha Twist on YouTube.